see it. This reading's going to be just collective energy. I'm going to go ahead and pull star codes here. Astro Star Codes Oracle box, in case you guys want to know. Just going to get some clarification on what signs might be involved, and what houses, what aspects, what it could be pertaining to. I mean, I am getting an overall energy. I'll see if these cards end up matching that. Let's see this. I'm going to ask for 2 here. So it looks like Libra and 12th house. The 12th house is going to be Pisces, which is your unconsciousness. So things that, I mean, honestly, and that's exactly the energy I was pulling on. I mean, I think a lot of people are in that energy because of retrograde right now. 3 retrogrades, actually. Stars, Mars, Venus, and what was the other one? I think it's Neptune right now. So, I mean, just being aware in consciousness is just, that card's showing the chakras. So just pulling your awareness to like what your mindset is pulling and putting on you. I mean, we're all going through that energy right now, and yeah, I just got a major confirmation. When I pull energy and I actually get connected, like I might have to pause. That is one of my tall tales that happens when I actually get like my confirmations, and when I download, I actually have to pause a little bit. Sometimes the energy gets overwhelming. I honestly have a lot of spirit guides. I have a huge family, and so kind of depends on who comes in and how strong they want to be to confirm things for me. So I think that right now there is Libra's, justice scales. So I think there's also like finding that balance and like what is in your unconsciousness that's causing you to hold yourself back from moving on. Like you want to get out of that job that you don't like and, provide yourself, stability. Instead accepting people gaslighting and lying to you when you absolutely know that, they are manipulating you. Well, Nine of Trees and 9 of Pentacles. I mean, providing yourself with abundance. Like when you have the 9 of Pentacles, you have everything but one thing, really. I mean, you have almost all Pentacles. Trees, just I was speaking about, like providing yourself something, moving on from that job, moving on from a relationship that, you've gone back and forth in. Many times people will, a lot of things I'm going to speak on, and I'm going to tell my truth to you guys, because I've learned a lot of karmic lessons in my life, and I repeated them for a long time because I always told myself, why would they treat me that way? Well, here's the thing. They're not treating you that way. They're going to treat anybody that way. They're not here. Hurt people. 7 of Lotuses. So, 7 of Cups, decisions, exactly the energy I was pulling. You have, to provide yourself with that stability. With that, that photo is like, that house is the highest one in the village, like being on top of everything, like rising above the situation, being okay with the unknown, because you know yourself that you are your best support team. Like the thing is, if you are always like, that's something I always did, is lean too much on other people's opinions, want to get their feedback on the situation. And, although I knew the answer, why was I asking other people? Life on Earth is, on the bottom of the deck. I really like this deck because it has a couple extra oracle cards in it that just confirm things, and I think that's exactly what it's saying. It's like, you know, you have one life to live, and if this lady's hugging a spirit, like there is that power within yourself that if you know that you're connected with the higher power, whatever you want to subscribe to or anything like that, is that if you are acting with integrity and you know that you are consciously aware of where your lack is, then you can choose to move on and actually strive and do better. Um, I think that's a huge problem with our society today, is that we have this idea that, you have to be in a relationship. Well, if we're searching all this time for a relationship and don't find the time to mend ourselves, mender, like, thank you, Spirit, and that was perfect, is that you're going to continue getting in hurt cycles, because you won't be enough in your power to say no, to realize and go, that's a toxic trait, and I'm already seeing it move too. Imagine when they get you roped in. Hold your own power. Like, here, I've been through it back and forth and so many times again, and always ask, why me? Okay, so if I'm asking why me, like, why not me? Like, why am I not focusing more on me and willing to accept that I deserve better? That I know that I deserve better. I provide people with, death right there. So, transformations, moving on. It's just knowing that you move on from that situation and that you don't deserve the lies, the cheating, the manipulation, whatever it may be. Talk about a job, family. That, this year I went through family that they didn't believe me, and I was going through one of the worst things in my life I ever have. Wanderer. You're exploring the veil. Like, where are you, like, holding yourself back from connecting, like pushing through that wall? Like, that guy is absolutely pushing through that wall to find what you're passionate in. Like, if you have a passion for something, I've always told friends this that are like musicians, perfect example, is that if you're passionate about music, and it doesn't have to be your only source of income. And of course, a lot of times you can't get out of it. I'm lucky I'm single and have no kids, so I get to do what I want in that sense. So, you may have kids and other obligations, and, I was pushed pretty hard at work and for some really bad things. So I was done with it, and I ended up leaving and finding my own way to do things. And the only reason that I'm in the shoes that I am now and have that availability is I was very stuck on the idea that, the income that I had from a job was the only way I was going to make it through life. Like, now I have multiple sources of income. Everything's not perfect, but I've always been the hardest worker that I've ever seen at any job, and more than willing to put in the effort, and, just been taken advantage of in that sense. And so why would I not choose me and take all of that effort that I put into that job and make more money by myself with what I want to do? I'm working on building up to that. I'll be honest, I'm not there yet, but there, just the level of stress and, like, happiness, and, I actually got a dog. I've never owned my own pet in my own life, and I'm in my mid-30s because I've always had this idea that, I don't want them to be at home alone all the time. Cool. He's not home alone. He's with me all the time, and I absolutely love it. Like, we get to spend so much time together. Accepting that, those past life, accepting that responsibility for your part in it, because, abusive relationships are that, but a lot of times you've accepted enough signs to get to that point. Mentally abusive, whatever it may be, lying, gaslighting, that is one thing that's always been on my heart, is that I know I'm a good person, I treat people well, but I have to take my responsibility and not standing up for myself and going, okay, I've already talked to you about it. I know you're lying to me, but I continue to stay in it. Where's my self-worth? Like there's a level where, yeah, I got to walk away. I think that there's societal pressures that, oh, it looks terrible and you care what other people think. And, in that sense, I never did, but I think that was always that unconscious thing that I dealt with, 12th house. In the unconscious is that I was worried about society looking at me like I was a failure because I didn't have a partner. I spent most of my life together, in relationships. It's nice to actually be single and do what you want to do, and, like, you can have fun. Like, you can go out every once in a while, do your thing, be safe, be smart about it, but if you can't do that without, like, pulling, I guess, a tie to it, emotionally or whatever, then, that's not for you. But we jump into it so fast when we're young in this society that you don't get to find you, and you're searching for you in a partnership when you're broken. Like, I just seem like, who's your own protector? Like, you are. Like, these two men are, like, I guess little sumo wrestlers, but he almost look this. It's like almost looks the same. Like, one's spiritual and one's not. Like, when you stand in, like, you're knowing that, like, again, you're your best protector. Like, that's just the best. It's perfect. Like, it's do what this line is going down, is you protecting yourself, protecting your energy from those people, and cutting out people that just like, that friend never is there for me when I need them, but they will call me every time that they need something. Um, you know, you accept what's in your life, and you're accountable for your energy, and that is absolutely something, my biggest lesson. I've had a lot of false friends in my life, and I knew it for a long time, but did I admit it to myself and walk away and pick me? No. Be your own peacemaker. Like, how do you find peace if you're willing to accept those type of people in your life? Um, it's just so beautifully written out. The swan, like, like, it has a heart in it. Like, do you love yourself enough? Like, are you looking at, like, that underlying, like, that image there shows that reflection of the swan showing, looking at that, like, unseeable side of you, or, like, the side that only you know about, that tells yourself and perpetuates a lie that, you're not going to find better. Like, yeah, we get stuck in this idea that we have to be in a relationship. I mean, I went back to relationships for 16 years of my life and never took time to find out, like, okay, what do I want out of these relationships? And I should have shuffled those on camera, but it's perfect. Eight of Pentacles, putting in the work, like, Eight of Pentacles is about work. Like, it's the work card to the T. So, like, if you put in the work, and, like this, it's the romantic, which is kind of ironic to me, is that they're in the boat themselves. Like, love yourself. It's just what I'm getting out of that. And that's exactly the energy that I feel like most of the collective is right now. Like, last year was lessons for so many people. I saw so many people go through lessons, and at least for me, and that's my life, and I live in a small town, and I don't tend to have a lot of people in my energy anymore, now that I'm super consciously aware and, more connected to my empath. It's hard to have certain people in your energy, because I will take on their emotions. I always have. And so, love yourself. Or you can't get to that level, Like, I think there's a point that we need to find what we do love about ourselves. Take that pride that we carry in that, and carry into a relationship, stand up to somebody and say, no, I'm not willing to accept that. If that's how you started the relationship and you were healed enough and grown enough not to just be in a lust energy and, he's cute, she's cute, and, truly date for why you're dating. I mean, honestly, like, why are we dating people if we don't plan on marrying them? Like, or being with them for long term. Like, I look back at all my relationships and did we ever have those adult conversations? No. Do we wonder why those probably went nowhere? Because at the end of the day, neither of us had an idea of what we wanted out of life, Like, I didn't flip. I wanted to flip it myself. So, what was that relationship for? For us to be in a relationship. So, I mean, it's a super weird concept. I mean, ultimate betrayals, Ten of Swords, there's what leads you to those is what I'm getting out of that, like this guy has Ten of Swords, the bird's picking him up, like dropping him off a cliff, like there couldn't be anything worse. And it's like, well, what got us to these types of relationships, friendships, accepting that for ourselves? I think there's that level that, we're told to just be the bigger person and walk away. There's also that point where, yeah, you also need to call them out for it, hold yourself accountable as well for your toxicity and the portion. Even if just your toxicity, I mean, don't just blame yourself if you're a good person. I know a lot of people that were lied to and manipulated. They had no bad intentions, but, like, did you know what was happening and stay for 4 years like I did, Three of Pentacles, collaboration. I wonder what this energy changed to, because I feel like this, I mean, maybe it's just defining a past here. Seven of Pentacles, choices. So, I mean, Three of Pentacles could have been, like third-party situations. A lot of times that I just feel like there's a lot of people that get in relationships and it's because one person or another, it just happens that way. Somebody asked, like, it's happened to me. Family members like, are you guys dating? You kind of look at each other all awkward and can't be like, no, we're just friends, or like, it's more casual, or, and so it kind of falls into that, and you almost get pushed into a relationship instead of you two sitting down and actually saying, like, okay, are we dating? Like, what's the purpose of us dating? Like, it's definitely something that just, it's really came to me in this reading. It's like, if you're not dating with, like, an intention with that person equally, like, what's the purpose of being there? Like, support or, things like that. Like, I look back on mine, a lot of mine were because it's like, oh, well, I need a place to live. Like, our society does that, and, well, that was great. But I think that's, that I grew up in an era where, obviously, I don't know if you guys know, I am LGBTQ, that, it was a little harder to find places that, you weren't worried about being socially accepted. I think that's changed a little bit, which is good, but do I accept that I couldn't have found someplace instead of making that excuse and just making it easy? No, I think pardon me, hiccup. I think that's, very lazy, and that's the right word that I'm looking for there. Just, unaccountable for myself. Like, I need to be accountable for that change. That, like, you don't date somebody for, this is me, I'm not talking about anybody else, is that I moved in with all my partners way too soon. And, I think that's, I think it is a part of society, and I think it is part of the LGBTQ network, because a lot of times they're also, lost in the fact of, a lot of them are disowned by family. I was definitely blessed that, my family did not at all do that to me. They were super supportive. Rather funny story, actually. They told me, thank God because, we can quit pretending. So hope that makes somebody laugh. Because honestly, it's great that I was able to have that support, so I didn't have that trauma to deal with. I did have a lot of other things, and I don't think this is time to deal with that. But if you guys come around, like I have definitely some lessons in life that it can teach people a lot of things, and I mean it's great. I mean I love sharing those situations because that's what betters us as a collective and a positive energy and being able to support each other and learn from other people's perspectives. I love getting people's input. And yeah, by the way, like, comment, share, subscribe. Please give me feedback. Like if there's anything that you feel that I need to work on or I could do better or you'd like to see this type of thing or, just, I don't mind it at all. It doesn't bother me. I know who I am. I know how to accept feedback, criticism, all of that stuff. So please feel free. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to hold back in any way, shape, or form. Seven of Pentacles is making, choices. There's, the original tarot deck. Every time I see the Seven of Pentacles, that just comes up in my mind, and it's seven, it's like seven different like objects and things like that. And so there's, like weeding through the differences and like planting your seeds, like, or no, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Seven Cups. Seven of Pentacles is like planting the seeds. I apologize. For like the Eight of Pentacles that comes in like putting in the hard work, to get to that Nine of Pentacles self-sufficiency, you know, um, after you're coming out of the Ten of Swords, third party situation, you know, that's where you got to learn to plant the right seeds. Like hold yourself accountable for putting yourself in that situation and not, I guess, taking enough time to get to know the person and if they're good for you. Like I moved a roommate in, that I just got a call last week for his vehicular manslaughter trial, and that was 15 years ago. He's trying to get out, and so they're trying to subpoena me for me to go back. He was just a roommate, and he did that while he lived with me, and like, so it's coming back on me, and we are kind of lazy about finding them and like things like that. It's kind of interesting how just a roommate can affect you even 15 years later. Um, it, I mean, there's that accountability, and I definitely find myself accountable for those things. And sometimes I get in that woe is me attitude, like people should treat me better. Now, do one thing that I wholeheartedly believe is that we need to start holding other people more accountable for their actions as well. Ace of Swords, obviously aces are, prosperity, new things, new ideas, maybe a new conflict, mental clarity in these situations from Moon, things that were hidden. Consciousness awareness. If that person was treating you that way, and in your heart of hearts, you knew, did you really need the confirmation? Be the high priestess and know about the people that are being mischievous behind your back. Like, hold them accountable. Like, that's the other thing is we keep asking where this society is going so bad and why things are going so wrong. Is we're always being the bigger person and told to walk away and don't start drama. It's not one thing. I wholeheartedly believe that God, higher power, my spirit guides has all put on me this year is that I had to learn in 15 years of going thrown into jail from exes, from their lies and things like that, just because, the abuse, the mental abuse, the lies and manipulation. And when I get fed up with it, I'm 3 Taurus signs strong in my chart. So trust me, I am very nurturing and caring until I'm not. And so I always held myself back from speaking my truth. And that how I felt about it and letting them to, back in my life. And so, I mean, there's a level that you're accountable for it, but we also have to start holding them accountable in that sense, because there's accountability on both sides of that. I allowed my pain and manipulation to continue to go through when they've lied to me how many times. I know what they're going to continue to do. It didn't change. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull an oracle card and I'm gonna wrap it up. To the T, like the message that has been put on my for the last 4 days to do this reading. And honestly, I've been kind of holding back, and it's crazy that same exact energy came out, because it's so something that's been put on me, for the fact that I've lost a lot, and never asked for anything from anybody other than their respect, of my time and my hard work. And I guess, I never even said that to them. I expected that of them, and that's a mistake I made. So, Hero's Journey, I feel like that's where I was led to pull an oracle card from. I think that's exactly what this spread is talking about, is, like being your own hero, like standing up and like get the collective together for that change and empowerment of, okay, yes, we don't need to act vindictive, because I think a lot of people perpetuate the idea that holding somebody accountable is vindictive. That's something that's gone through my head forever. I've had, exes lie to me, get me thrown in jail, and I still couldn't go tell the truth, my fear of them going to jail because of my compassion. But they could do it, no problem. But then want me back after doing that. Like, there's a level of psychopathy there, and I'm not talking from a hurt space, but I'm talking from a space that, where does it stop? Like, are we not validating them for not holding them accountable, allowing them to manipulate behind the scenes? But they want to call me, say, put it all on me and not anyone else. A problem starter, a drama queen, whatever, phrase they want to use, because I'm speaking about the injustice that's being done on me in the dark. So just because they're going to be shady and hide it, they can get away with it, and I just have to be the better person and walk away. I agree, walk away, but where's the level of their accountability? So they continue to victimize people? I wonder, how many more times, because, it's ironic, is that same ex that I was kind of speaking about in that situation, we had some pets together, sent me a text, asked me if I wanted my dog back. And it wasn't about getting my dog back, because she was dying. And do you think he told me that? Nope. Because he was still using it as a manipulation. And hopefully I can get this new sweater up. They're kind of showing up, but that's my confirmation. Like, when I'm speaking about something that, my spirit guides and the higher power absolutely want me to talk about, I get the goosebumps, and they're continuing, because that energy flows through me, and that's how it like reacts in my body. And that is how they 100% confirm to me that I'm speaking on a truth that they see that is a problem plaguing, good people like us that are here, because I don't think a single person's watching a tarot reader. And, I guess there's probably a few people out there with bad intentions, but I think a lot of them, at least, hey, they may still be in karmic energy, but I think they're starting the path to holding themselves accountable. I'm getting way too many on these cards. They're big. I've used them a lot. I'm going to focus on this shuffle and close up the read, but I do appreciate you guys. I think it was a good read. I feel really good about the message that that's what's been being put on me, you know, for myself, and what's been being put on me to spread to the collective is that, yes, we need to be accountable, but we have to start standing up and holding them accountable. So you hold the key to an awakened life. And so absolutely is perfect conclusion is being accountable for that unconscious and being aware to not allow us to go back to those situations. And also being a collective energy of helping other people and supporting them when they are in those situations. You know, that one of the biggest things about manipulators is they are going to manipulate multiple people in the energy. So that friend that's having a hard time and you want to say, I'm not sure he's doing that. I'm not sure she's doing that, or whatever the situation may be. That manipulator's probably worked on you pretty well too. You know, and that's kind of the sad, scary part. Pardon me. Dream sanctuary. So attend to the simple things. I think it's, you know, that's an energy for me too, is that, you know, I've been really focused on, you know, the bigger aspect of like how other people look at everything. And I think it's about like, this lady's naked, and, you know, taking care of those small things and paying attention to the simple things that point out the honesty, like the truth of the situation. We take too much and, well, he's good about this or she's good about that. Well, are they good enough? Because you deserve the best. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good night. Bye.